Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
This is the sound of freedom, a sound that echoes over the sands of Arabia from the pinnacle of the house of God. But this sound, this freedom, was born from unimaginable pain. This is the story of a slave who became a master of faith, a man whose unbreakable spirit made him the chosen voice of Islam. Our story begins not with triumph, but with bondage. Bilal ibn Rabah was born a slave in Mecca, owned by the powerful clan of Umayyah. His crime? He was black, he was Abyssinian, and in the eyes of pre-Islamic Arabia, he was property. But Bilal was not just any slave. He was known for his sharp mind, his loyalty, and a character that stood out even in his oppressed state. He was a man searching for truth in a world built on falsehood and injustice. And then a whisper began to spread through the alleys of Mecca, a message that challenged everything, that there is no God but God, that all men are equal before him, that the powerful and the slave drink from the same well. For Bilal, this wasn't just religion, it was the key to his chains. And so, Bilal ibn Rabah, the Abyssinian slave, became one of the very first to accept Islam. He made a choice that would bring down upon him a hellish wrath. His master, Umayyah ibn Khalaf, decided to make an example of him. He would torture Bilal until he renounced this new faith. It was a punishment designed to break not just the body, but the very soul. They laid him on the burning sand under the Arabian sun. They placed a massive boulder on his chest, hoping to crush the name of Allah from his lung. Umayyah leans over him, screaming, "Renounce Muhammad! Praise Al-Lat and Al-Uzza!" Day after day, the torture continued. But when they demanded he renounce his faith, something miraculous happened. From his cracked lips came not a recantation, but a declaration of faith, not a cry of pain, but a mantra of love. Ahad, Ahad, one. He is one. He didn't cry for help. He didn't curse his oppressors. He affirmed the oneness of God. His spirit was truly unbreakable. News of this brutal torture reached the ears of the Prophet's closest companion, a wealthy and respected merchant named Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. He saw in Bilal the pure essence of faith, and he knew what he had to do. Abu Bakr didn't just free a slave that day, he liberated the future voice of Islam. As a free man, Bilal's qualities shone brighter than ever. He was appointed as the Prophet's personal treasurer and became one of his most trusted companions. But his greatest destiny was yet to be fulfilled. In Medina, the Muslim community grew. They needed a way to call the believers to prayer. Then, a companion had a dream, a man standing tall, calling out a beautiful invocation. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, knew immediately who that voice belonged to. He chose Bilal, the former slave whose voice had only cried out in pain and the oneness of God, was now chosen to sing the praises of God to the world. And so, the voice that was tortured into silence was now lifted higher than any other. It was the ultimate symbol of Islam's message. In the eyes of God, piety is the only measure of a person, not race, not wealth, not status. The legacy and the final Adhan. The death of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was a devastating blow to the entire Ummah. For Bilal, it was the loss of his liberator, his leader, and his beloved friend. When the first caliph, Abu Bakr, asked him to give the Adhan, Bilal found he could not. The grief was too overwhelming. To say the words, "I bear witness that Muhammad is the messenger of God," knowing he was gone, was a pain too great to bear. He left Medina, but his story was not over. He carried the message of Islam forward, a living legend among the believers. Years later, the Prophet's grandsons, Hassan and Hussein, visited him. They begged him to call the Adhan one last time. For the sake of the love he held for their grandfather, he agreed. As his legendary voice rang out through the streets, the entire city was overcome with emotion. It was the sound of a blessed memory, a voice of freedom that had defined an era. Bilal ibn Rabah passed away in Syria, but his voice never faded. It echoes in every Adhan called from every minaret on earth. His story is a permanent part of Islamic faith. He is eternal proof that in Islam, true nobility comes from faith, that a black Abyssinian slave can stand above all others as the chosen caller to God. His story isn't just history, it's a timeless lesson in equality, resilience, and the unbreakable power of faith. Which story of the Sahaba should we explore next? Vote in the comments. Ali ibn Abi Talib, Salman al-Farisi, like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more documentaries on the heroes of Islam. Assalamu alaikum, Habibi.